Hi everyone. Um, Today I'm going to be going over the amino acids. So how I learned the amino acids was honestly like writing everything like 20 times. And I find that teaching is also a really good technique in learning. So as I'm writing this out, I'm also learning. And I really recommend you all to try to teach someone else or even like make a video like this. You don't have to post it anywhere, but it can be really helpful. Okay, let's start with the amino acids. So there's 20 of them. Okay, first ones. It's GLAM, VIP, WF. So for most of these mnemonics, I've got from different sources and then just combined and used the ones that work best for me. So GLAM, VIP, Wednesday, Friday. So VIP people, they like to get glammed up um, on Wednesdays and Fridays. And when they wear makeup, they don't want it to be rainy. So they are hydrophobic, and these are the nonpolars. They don't want it to be rainy, so their makeup doesn't get ruined. So GLAM, VIP, Wednesday, Friday. I'm just gonna do this for now. So GLAM, VIP, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. So this is glycine. This is leucine, alanine, methionine. And if I misspell something, just know as long as you can recognize it, that's all that matters. The MCAT is a multiple choice exam. Okay. Then valine, and then isoleucine, and then proline, and then tryptophan, and phenylalanine. Okay, so glycine, it's GLY, leucine. It's LEU, alanine, ala. Oh, okay, methionine, valine, val. Okay, now isoleucine is different. I like to think like illy, like you know how people say illy, but it's illy. Proline is pro. And then for tryptophan, think of it as like you're tripping. It's like trip. And then phenylalanine is phe. And these are all the nonpolars. And the reason why I sectioned out Wednesday, Friday is because these don't directly correspond with like the first letter of the amino acid. All of these do, but these don't. And separating it out like this helps me. So now we're going to do polar. So we did the nonpolar, GLAM, VIP, Wednesday, Friday. Let's do the polar now. And I memorize it by saying QT sync. So QTs are in sync. And for the letters that aren't corresponding, it's your name is Q. So QT sync. So Q is glutamine. T is 309 or threonine. S is serine. Y is tyrosine. N is asparagine. Asparaginine, something like that. And then cysteine. C is cysteine. Okay, so for glutamine, I think of GLEN, GLN. For threonine, it's serine, it's this, this. Okay, tyrosine is tire. And asparagine, the N helps out. And so it's Asian, ASN. And then cysteine is cis. And then for glutamine, maybe you can think like these are like kind of close by in the alphabet. You know, if Glenn doesn't work out, you can always try to make something up. Whatever helps you the most. You can like watch as many videos, but if it doesn't work for you, then you know it's not very helpful. So it's best to do what helps you. Okay, so we did the nonpolars, we did the polars. Now let's go into the acidics. Now how I like to remember, it's maybe not the most fun way, but so ED, I think of eating disorder. So when you have an eating disorder, you tend to get an acidic mouth, and this having an acidic mouth is bad for your teeth, so it's negative. Okay, and then ED. And how I like to know these is egg and add. So egg, or so E, okay. For E, it's glutamic or glutamate acid. Glutamate. And then for D, it's aspartic acid or aspartate. So glutamic acid, it's glue. And that's why if you go up, glutamine can't be glue because it's already taken by glutamic acid. And then aspartic acid is ASP. And that's why asparagine can't be ASP because it's taken. Okay, now let's go to the basics. So if the acidics are negative, then the basics are positive. And I remember it by HRT, like hormonal replacement therapy, but it's HRK. That just helps me. There's many other mnemonics, but this is what helps me, HRK. Okay. And it's histidine, arginine, and then lysine. And now this K is random, but when we go over the pKa's, it can kind of help. Okay, so histidine is his, arginine is arg, and lysine is lys. Okay, now let's go over the pKa's. But just as a refresher, nonpolar, glam VIP, Wednesday, Friday. Polar, QD, sync. Acidic, ED. Basic, HRK. Okay. Now, pKa of side chains. Now, how I remember this is chill MF. Like, if you describe someone, you know, they're like a chill MF, if you know what that stands for. This is how I like to memorize it. So, chill is carboxylic. And then whenever you think of carboxylic, you usually like think like carboxylic acid. So then you want to do the acidics here. So carboxylic acid, and the acidic, as we know, it's the ED. Or not the ED, it's like glutamic acid and then aspartic acid. And then over here, it's now all the basics. So histidine, lysine, so chill, here's the CHL, and then here's the AAA. Acidic, amino, and arginine, and then all the basics stay close by each other. Okay, so it's 3, 4, histidine is 6, 8, so you can know like 4, 8, and then 3, 6, and then these last ones, they're like a little random. So it's 10.8 and then 12.5. So it's 3, 6, 10.8, 4, 8, 12.5. I think just like saying it's kind of funny, and that kind of helps me. Like 3, 6, 10.8, 4, 8, 12.5. Just like create a little rhyme like that. Okay, so we went over that, pKa's. Now, how are some of them tested? So when it asks for like phosphorate groups, that's for like the amino acids with the OH, and that's STI. I just memorize it like that. Yeah. And then for aromatics, think of wifey. So like wifey smells good, aromatic. For plasma branched chain, I think there was like one question on, I think like one of the full links or something. So I just made sure to memorize it. You just want to live your life and branch out. Plasma branch chain is LIB. Okay, now for keto, and then keto and glycogenic. For keto, I like to think of it as Luke likes keto. So when I think of keto, I think of like the keto diet, how it's like mostly like meat and like butter and whatnot. And like Luke is kind of like a, I don't know, like a masculine like name. And so I'm like, oh, probably like a gym bro. That's like the correlation I make. And so Luke, so like when you say, and then all of them have the K. So Luke like keto. Okay. Okay. So Luke is leucine. Like is lysine. And then it's just keto. And then keto and glucogenic, it's what the F, why me, and the I, or like the why me, it's just isoleucine. And so these are all like the 1-letter codes for the amino acids that we went over. So I recommend just studying this, write it like 20 times, and then move on to the structures, which I will do in 1 second. I also wanted to mention, anytime it says disulfide, think of cysteine. Okay. Now we can just go on to structures. Now, how I learned the structures is through YouTube videos from, I think it's like You Draw It, You Know It, I think. And it's students from Wayne State University. And that video really helped me learn the structures or like the side chains of the amino acids. And so I'm really thankful for that video, and I might just apply to Wayne State when I apply for medical school. Okay, hold on. Okay, so for the structures, like I mentioned, I've just learned it from the You Draw It, You Know It YouTube video, and I recommend watching it from there. But you can still watch and see how I memorized it. I think I like changed how I memorized like 1 or 2 of them or something like that. But for the most part, it's based off that video. Okay, so for starters, the backbone, they drew it like this. And then so for glycine, because it's different from all the other ones, it's just going to be 2 hydrogens. You know, the hydrogen can be here, whatever. So that's glycine. I'm just going to stick to one color. So now starting forward, how we're going to draw the backbone is like this. And actually this would be alanine. So now starting from alanine, everything will have this. Okay. And just for like, to make it easier for me, I'm just gonna draw it like this, but that basically means that just for the video, it's just That's what it means. Okay, so we did alanine. Now we can do valine. Valine is really easy. You just add a V. Okay, so for leucine, how they think of it is like two L's. Okay, so you have your backbone. So you want to draw one L like that and then another L like that. So how they're L's is there's one L here and then there's another L here. And that helps visualize it for me. And then isoleucine. Think of it as like the I and the sides are getting chopped off. So it basically makes like a Z or like a 2. So you just want to do like that. So then for methionine. So how they were describing it, maybe they did make it PG because it was through university, but I wasn't really understanding how, because it was something like an M and then this is like the S, which I kind of get. But how I memorize it is like this part, it looks like a nose. Let's try this. Like this part looks like a nose. And so for like methionine, if you know where I'm going with this, like just like helps like that. So that's how I like to memorize it. It looks like a nose, and here's the S. Methionine has that. Okay, then let's go on to proline. So proline is cyclic. Theirs makes sense. They were like, oh, think of it as like a P. And yeah, that works. Dun, dun, something like that. Okay. Now phenylalanine. This one's easy. Phenylalanine. Here's our alanine. Then here is our phenyl. I'm not too good at drawing these. Oh man. Okay. Tyrosine. Now let's do the phosphorylated, like how we mentioned before. These, they have the OH. All right, let's do serine first, because that one's easy. Serine, it's just, here's alanine, then the branch off, OH, serine. Now we can do threonine, 309. This one, I really like how they mentioned it. It's just that, OH. So it looks like a T. And now tyrosine. It's just, it's like a phenylalanine, but it has that OH. Hydroxylation. Phenylalanine. So it's just boom, boom, boom. Then here's your phenylalanine and then OH. Sorry guys, I'm not good at drawing that. Okay, then tryptophan. Now I like this one too. They think of it as like a W. You wanna kind of make it wide. This, so there's a benzene ring and then a 5-member. Okay, so it's, I recommend watching the video. I'm not too good at drawing. Oof. Now these both have a carboxamide. And it's really easy. So how they mentioned it was A goes before G. So it's just 1 and then C, O, and H2. And then for G, you have 2. So it's 1, 2. C, O, and H2. Now I want to do the acids. And these have a carboxylate. Now, like these, let's do this. Aspartic, it's this, just 1, like asparagine. C, O, and then and then glutamate. Okay. Now, cysteine. Cysteine, remember, disulfide, SH. Super easy. 1 and 2, SH. So it's like serine, but SH. Then let's do lysine. And it's this. How they were describing like the K's, like with this, that didn't really make sense to me, but I just know M, and I know it by, like in the alphabet, it's K, L, so like lysine's 1-letter code is K, and then it's L, M, N, O, P, blah, blah, blah. And that's why there's an M. Then arginine. Okay. And this has a oh my gosh, guanidinium group. And that looks like this. Something like that. And how I remember this is like R is like Ron, Harry Potter, and they have that one scar. I think that's what it looks like. And so it's just like that scar, and then boom, like that. Lastly, histidine. Now, how I like to think of it, and people in the comments said this too, is an upside down house. I kind of like to think of it as a diamond. So you have your N here, like then this, and then it's like this. So it kind of looks like a diamond. And then it's just this. So this is like upside down. So yeah.